Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to JoyNews Today. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle. We're on DTT because we're free to wear. On DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 125. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, a trailer cooking food sparked the Kejetia market fire. That's according to the Ghana Fire Service. Also this afternoon, National Security Ministry refutes claims its operatives deliberately killed 2 youths in a Quan constituency. Plus, Efua Santua crosses 105 hours in her attempt to break the Guinness World Record of the longest singing marathon by an individual. We'll tell you how she's fared, plus the core women's support factor and its impact on her performance so far. We have business, sports, world news, and showbiz coming up shortly. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X Spaces via JoyNews on TV. My personal handle is @Denana Aisha. Please do stay for details. The Ghana Fire Service has established the March 2023 inferno that swept through the new Kejetia market in Kumasi resulted from cooking at the market. According to the Regional Fire Public Relations Officer, investigations conducted over the incident revealed a tray that was cooking in a nearby shop which lit a material and touched one of the floors at the market. The incident is one of the 916 fire cases recorded in the region from January to December 10, 2023, which killed 9 people. Emmanuel Bright Kweku has more in this report.
On March 15, 2023, a section of the Kejetia market was torched by an inferno, leaving many victims distressed. Properties and wares running into millions of cedis were destroyed by the fire. 9 months after the incident, the Regional Fire Service says the fire incident was instigated by cooking at the market. DO3 Peter Day is the Ashanti Regional Public Relations Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service.
When you look at the Kejetia market, are you done with investigations?
We are.
You're done with investigations. Can you share with us your findings?
So, from the reports that I've seen, I understand someone was cooking within the market and that led to the fire. The modern markets have put in place the necessary structures to prevent traders from cooking within their individual shops. Even this year, I think somewhere in November, we had somebody trying to heat water with this old heater. It nearly led to fire.
Another fire?
It nearly led to fire, yes.
The fire incident is one of the over 900 cases recorded in the region from the beginning of the year to December 10, 2023. The figure represents a 13.42% reduction on the number of cases recorded under the same period in 2022. 9 fatalities were recorded from these cases, although a reduction from the 15 lives lost in 2022. Peter Adair says the estimated cost of damaged property also shot up astronomically in the year, although a significant cost of salvaging properties was made.
As much as we're excited about the fact that we've reduced the numbers when it comes to fires for the year 2023, but the data we have, the estimated property damage cost has gone up.
In 2023, it went up to 226 million 701,206.
What kind of
this has gone up? This fire, the Kejetia fire, contributed so much to the figure. The cost of salvage or salvaged items has also gone really high. It's moved from 34,231,245 to 370,050,480. cedis.
By far, 6 fire incidents have been recorded during the Christmas season in the region. The figure represents a reduction on the numbers recorded for the same period last year. That's about 10 of them. Well, with the Hamilton setting in, the Ghana National Fire Service is admonishing the public to take precaution during the season. For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Brightspeed.
In the wake of the recent fires, the Ghana Fire Service has been sharing some tips on how to stay safe, particularly during this festive season. JoyNews' Sweetia Bochi spoke with Assistant Divisional Officer 1, Alex Kinate, in an interview for more.
We find there are 3 components of fires: heat, fuel, and oxygen.
Right.
Oxygen is all around us. Fuel is some of the oil that leak from the car. And then the heat already coming from the car comes together, making the 3 elements complete and then starting a fire.
Right.
So it's important to always look out for leakages in your car. And if you see leakages, try and have it sorted out before it gets out of hand.
And keep a fire extinguisher in your car.
Keep a fire, that's the most important thing.
I know the things.
Thank you very much. You see, and you see, the funny thing is that people think that when you come, you just have to come and pour water on it. See, we don't fight every fire with water just like that.
What kind of fires do you fight with water, and which ones don't you fight with water?
So we don't fight electrical fires with water, or we don't fight fires that involve oils, or liquefied petroleum gases with water. A classic example is this unfortunate incident that happened at Circle, where people lost their lives. You realize that on that day it was raining. It was raining so bad. So if water...
The Vienna incident, yeah.
If water could quench every fire, why did we have that disaster on that day? Because then the fire service wouldn't even have had to come there because there was so much water there.
Yeah.
So that should let people understand. Even if you're frying your own plantain at home, and then you dip your plantain in water, and then you put it in oil, you see the ch that you get. So imagine the ch.
Right. Okay.
Literally.
Please continue from the chi and tell us all the other things that we should look out for in the domestic setting. Okay.
So then when you do that, realize that. So imagine if it's a big fire with so many oil, and you just go and pour water on it. You can imagine the kind of feedback that you get from that. So that is how we don't fight just every fire. So if we get to a place and realize that the fire has to do with electricals, then we call on ECG to cut power supply to the area before we're able to apply water on the fire.
All right.
So when our men get there, we've called on ECG to cut power supply, and there's a delay, then they'll draw conclusions that we've come without water. Because at the end of the day, we came to service the good people of Ghana, but not to die. So if there's
our lives are also
very important. If we get there and there's electricity power, you realize that even if you have a little water in your hand and you get close to an electrical appliance, you see the shock that you get. So imagine if it's an electrical fire and you go and pour water on it, you end up even killing people around you. So people should understand the way we work and appreciate it.
Your 5 top key fire safety tips for the home.
For the home. Yes. 1, keep your gas cylinders at home, outside and not inside the kitchen.
Right.
In that case, if there's any leakage from the gas cylinder, the thread dissipates into the air and reduces the risk of fires coming inside. Also, when you fill your gas, please do not, when you fill your gas and you come home, please do not immediately connect. You can connect it, but do not immediately engage the gas and start cooking.
Why
Wait till you see, gas expands. So once it's been in the car moving up and down, it's been expanding. You need to let it settle so that it can it can reduce any risk. So that's one thing. Also, people should learn to put off their appliances at home.
That's 3.
Yes, that's 3. Occasionally, run your hoses, your gas tube through soapy water. Engage the gas tube and then close the lid and then run it through soapy water. So once you look out for bubbles. If you see bubbles coming out, then you know that there's leakage in your gas cylinders.
Okay.
Also, people should avoid burning. At first, we used to say indiscriminate burning, but if you can avoid burning altogether, that would be the best, because fires carry embers. So you realize that when you are burning, the embers keep flying into the air. Because of the Harmattan season, there's dryness or lack of moisture in the environment. So the fire might not start in your house, but then the embers might fall on a combustible material somewhere. To take its time to smolder, and when people are not around, then the fire becomes so light. The fifth one, the most important, please get a fire extinguisher at home.
That.
People prioritize, as I said, their security more than their safety. So people have a lot of burglar proofs and a lot of padlocks, and even have security cameras at home, but wouldn't have a single fire extinguisher at home.
The Tumu police has in their custody a 35-year-old man suspected of drug peddling who was arrested for selling unregistered herbal drugs to the public in the Sisala East municipality. Acting Upper West Regional Director of the Food and Drugs Authority, Kelvin Dafari, who led the operation, said the suspect, Abdul Kudus Razak, used one herb to manufacture 8 different drugs. JoyNews' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam has more.
According to the acting Upper West Regional Director of the Food and Drugs Authority, Kelvin Dafari Songpal, they had information that the suspected drug peddler was in Tumu, capital of the Sisala East municipality, where he is alleged to have been selling the fake herbal aphrodisiacs.
So quickly this morning, I have to get my team and rise to Tumu. And lo and behold, when he was found at the Tumu station, peddling drugs, so we just didn't want to go straight. I have to let someone go purchase it. So when we had the drugs, there were about 8 different herbal drugs that are not registered. So we arrested him and sent him to the police station.
Initial investigations revealed that the 35-year-old Abdul Kudus Razak was using one herb and kept them in different containers and labeled with different names.
I realized that the guy is just using one particular herb and we put it in different containers with different labels. So we'll have malaria fever, we'll have manpower, we'll have 10 minutes man, different names. Meanwhile, it's just one drug. One common thing that has run through all the drugs we realized was that they all say something about sex. So if you pick this one, even one is even a malaria drug, and he said that he indicated in the label that when you take it, you can perform as a man. So I think he is just going around marketing aphrodisia, herbal aphrodisia.
Okay, so he said there's one that penis enlargement.
Penis enlargement, yes. You could see the picture of a penis, very long penis, and you see a lady holding the penis. And that's what people were much interested in when we went there. They were buying. He was selling just a small bottle about 330 ml for 40 Ghana cedis. So someone bought it and I approached the guy, oh, have you used before? No, that's the way the guy marketed the product. He believed that he has the things work. And he too, he doesn't perform well, so he bought it. I asked whether he has checked for FDA registration before buying. He said normally when he's to buy it, he doesn't check for FDA registration.
Kelvin Dafari Songpal disclosed that the suspected drug peddler months ago came to the authority to register a product, after which he went on his own way, selling other unregistered drugs to the public.
He came and we registered one product for him, but that one was herbal capsules. So, but we didn't know he was into all this kind of preparations. But when we interacted with him, he told us that because he's afraid of the office, that's why he has moved to Tumu. So very far from the office, thinking that we will not see him. But what we also do here is that because we don't often go there every time, we have people who help us with information. The environmental health officers are there and other citizens that are very curious about work. So we have given them information in case they see someone who is doing something that is against our law, the FDA law, they should please inform us. I think that's why somebody called us yesterday in the night and we had this information when I arrested the guy.
So now he's behind bars, he's stuck there. What next?
Yes, it was in Tumu. So I've asked the municipal police commander to refer the case to the regional CID so that we can handle here. He has agreed. Fortunately, the guy himself is also from Wahia. So he also wants the case to be handled in Wahia. So
the acting Upper West FDA director has this message for the public.
If we are sick, as much as possible, let's try to go to the pharmacies. First of all, go to the health facility. If you even have to buy any medication for yourself, go to the licensed over-the-counter shops or pharmacies. That is where they can save you better. But to buy drugs from peddlers, they don't even handle the drugs well. The drugs were in a car, very dirty car, and he's packed it in the sun, and he was selling to people. And I also like this, try to check whatever you are buying, be it drug or food, at least try to check whether the product has been registered by the Food and Drugs Authority. You could see that this man was just selling the drugs to the ignorance of the people. They will just come and buy because they've seen funny pictures, a picture of a penis in the product. They were very happy, thinking that if they also take it, they will get the same size of penis. That is really very bad.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam. Wow.
The National Security Ministry has dismissed claims of deliberately targeting and killing 2 persons in the Akan constituency in the Oti region. This follows the death of 2 footballers in the Yazoo community of the Oti region on Monday as they were allegedly being pursued by national security operatives while attempting to transport cocoa beans to Togo. In a statement issued on December 27, the National Security Ministry explained that the incident leading to the death of the 2 persons was purely accidental and not born out of a targeted operation, as accounted by the MP for the area. While expressing their condolences to the bereaved families, they also urged the public to disregard the factual inaccuracies aimed at courting disaffection for the anti-cocoa smuggling operation in the constituency. However, setting the record straight, the ministry explained that the facts of the matter are as follows. In October 2023, the Ministry of National Security, in collaboration with Cocoa Board, launched an intelligence-led operation along the Eastern Corridor, which includes the Akan constituency, to prevent cocoa smuggling to neighboring countries. The launch of the intelligence-led operation was informed by a surge in cocoa smuggling activities, leading to a significant reduction in the quantum of cocoa beans sold by farmers to licensed buying companies. This explains the presence of national security personnel in the Akan constituency. The anti-cocoa smuggling operations have so far been successful, with several persons involved in the smuggling activities arrested. A significant amount of cocoa beans seized from the smugglers have been submitted as exhibits for the prosecution of the arrested persons. It is worth noting that as a result of the intelligence-led operations, the LBCs have recorded an uptick in the quantum of cocoa sold to them by farmers. Regrettably, though, on December 25, one of the vehicles of the anti-cocoa smuggling operations team was involved in an accident when it collided head-on with a motorcycle carrying 2 persons, a development that claimed the lives of the 2 persons aboard the motorcycle. In the immediate aftermath of the accident, personnel of the Ghana Police Service arrived at the scene to commence full-scale investigations. However, some aggrieved persons in the Akan constituency, guided by a misconception that the 2 deceased persons were deliberately targeted, vandalized the vehicle and set it ablaze. Well, it's been over 100 hours already since Asantewaa kicked off her daring attempt at midnight on Christmas Eve, aiming to sing continuously to break the Guinness World Record for the longest singing marathon by an individual, currently being held by Indian Sunil Wangmar, who sang for 105 hours in 2012. Well, going by the hours, literally, F4 has crossed the 105 hours. Technically, though, she would have to sing a few more hours to make up for any time wasted during her attempt at breaking the record in the last 5 days. A prominent characteristic of the support she's received so far is the show of love from women of all spheres of life, both public and private. The woman factor in her success story can certainly not be underestimated. Talk of the Chief of Staff, Remo Pare, who has been there in the company of the Accra Mayor Elizabeth Saki, among several followers who have shown love and encouraged her to finish hard. There's also media personalities and women voice activists. Ohenere Giftianti has been there, actress Nanama McBrown, ace gospel musicians, Daughters of Glorious Jesus, high life musician Becca, and popular radio show host Akuma Mamazimbi of Adom FM. All of them have been there, and the list is endless. Looks like for the first time, women, if not in Ghana, but in the capital city of Accra, have done great job in supporting their own. The end game is to emphasize the power of the woman and what she can do when given the needed support, both from home and outside. How has this contributed to Ifua's performance? Is it anything to consider and push more of such in the future? Two great women who have also in their own ways advocated the cause of women across board have been sharing their views on Ifua's performance. First, let's hear from Mrs. Diana Hobson, who is a gospel musician and board member of GAMRO.
Women have something extra that men do not have. Though in strength and energy to carry heavy things, you will see physically that the man is strong. When it comes to the emotional aspect, women are stronger. And so this tells me, and I want to tell every woman listening, that emotionally God has given us this resilience that we can go extra more. That's why we are quick to cry. Emotionally, we are very strong. We can feel the thing. And that is what has kept Ifua going. And so I want to encourage every woman that emotionally what we have is solid. We also have this gift of good organization. I was there on Tuesday, I passed through, and I saw right from the entrance, the security to pack you well, the organization is solid. Every woman likes to organize things, and this also comes to bear. I saw a great teamwork. In the home, the mother is the unifier, gathering everybody together. A mother cooks and makes sure that everybody gets his part. And I believe this also came to bear in the way everything was organized. The health team was there. I met vocal coach Freeman there. And this tells me that she made use of everything she knows she puts together for this to be successful. And whenever man puts all effort together, God always will put his blessings on top. And then also the support from everyone. Honestly, I am very impressed. And the timing was just perfect. You know, the holidays, just like Shamima said, it has been a very tough year. And so to end like this, a challenge that brings us all together, a challenge that unites us through music. You know, all the different songs that Ifua was singing, we all have an emotional attachment to the various songs. And so that kept us united. And I must say that for a woman to take this up, the last record was set by a man. And for a woman to take this up, this should tell every woman that we can do it.
We can now hear from the founder and convener for Alliance for Women in Media Africa, Shamima Muslim, who's also been sharing some perspectives.
Especially a woman. And when a woman makes up her mind to do something, and she has the support of her community, she can actually literally move mountains. And for me, her story, especially at the end of the year, when many women-owned businesses have seen a lot of tensions and stress as a result of the harsh economic conditions, where the mental health of many women who are breadwinners for their families has been affected tremendously by the hardships of this year, where many families are under severe stress because of the difficulties. Ifua comes in to show us that, wait, woman, wake up. You are born resilient. You are born to overcome. You are a pace setter. You are a life giver. And so you have life and you have light inside of you. All you need to do at any point in time is to find that light, and it will always, almost always lead you out of the darkness, the doldrums, wherever you find yourself. Your internal light, if you commune with it, would always lead you out of any situation. And so for me, I am so inspired that it is coming at the end of this year when people are making resolutions and people are looking back to see how far they have come, where there will be despondency, where there will be sadness, disappointments, because many plans have gone awry as a result of all kinds of unforeseen circumstances. And yet here is this young lady telling us that all is not lost, that once you put your mind to it, you can overcome. And you would end up even giving life to so many people. I mean, just look at the numbers of people who have come up.
Well, ex-wife of Archbishop Duncan Williams, Mama Francisca, has also been solidarizing with Ifwa in her attempt to break this record. Meanwhile, independent presidential aspirant Alan Kwejo Chirmanting also joined Ghanaians at the Akwaba village in Accra to support Ifwa Asantewaa. The presidential aspirant was accompanied by his wife and other members of his campaign team. Mr. Chirmanting stood with the crowd and cheered on Ifwa, who performed a mix of gospel and high life songs. After spending some time cheering her on, the leader of the movement for change exchanged pleasantries with the crowd, who were excited to interact with him. Former First Lady has donated a large quantity of foodstuff and prestige goods to the inmates of the Gambaga witch camp at the Gambaga village in the northeast region. Correspondent Elias Satanko has more.
Former First Lady was accompanied by staff of the Lordina Mahama Foundation and some regional executives of the National Democratic Congress Party. She was especially welcomed with a song by the inmates. The items presented included many bags of rice, cooking oil, beverages, bottled water, toiletries, and wax prints. Mrs. Lordina Mahama emphasized the long-standing positive relationship between her Lordina Mahama Foundation and the camp, adding that the donation was in line with the motto of the foundation.
For many years, I have adopted your community as one of the beneficiaries of activities under the Lordina Foundation. Even when I cannot be here in person, I have always made sure that twice a year you have received your share of whatever little we have. This is in line with our motto: the more we share, the more we have. My connection to the camp has strengthened me, my belief in the importance of showing compassion in every possible way.
The Gambaga Witches Camp in 2012 was adopted as a permanent beneficiary of activities of the Lordina Mahama Foundation. Since then, the foundation has provided and continued to provide numerous support and intervention to the camp and its inmates. The Lordina Mahama Foundation started the construction of a skill training center to provide skills training to the alleged witches and their dependents. The project, however, has been abandoned after the change of government. Mrs. Mahama expressed her sadness over the development, but encouraged the inmates to keep their hopes alive and not despair, as she promised not to give up on them.
The center would have benefited both the young and the old, reaching and teaching, giving them skills that they could use to support themselves in life. I was deeply saddened when I learned that the building was destroyed by fire and abandoned. But please, never be despaired. The Lordina Foundation has not given up on you, and I, Lordina Mahama, will never abandon you.
The former First Lady also pledged to continue her advocacy against stigmatization and discrimination, whilst appealing for the passage of the anti-witchcraft bill.
I will continue my advocacy to address the stigma and discrimination our sisters and mothers face. It is my prayer that the anti-witchcraft bill will be passed into law soon, so that no more of our mothers and sisters will be subjected to this kind of wicked treatment. I wish you all Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Speaking after receiving the donation, the coordinator of the camp, Reverend Gladys, expressed gratitude for the gesture.
Mama Excellency, we thank God for your life and thank God for the numerous support you have been given. I've been here shortly, but I've heard the good works. And whenever you visit here, it's all over the news. And God richly bless you. Our prayer is that your good work will always follow you.
Masquerading has become part and parcel of the festive seasons in Ghana, and the port city of Tema is no exception. Despite some misconceptions about masquerading, it has evolved, with groups such as Labour Masquerade Society in Tema moving away from asking for gifts to giving back to society throughout the year. Speaking to JoyNews at this year's float, Secretary of Labour Masquerade Society, Quan says one of their core goals is to help the youth stay away from social vices. Correspondent Kwame Yanka has more.
This year's float started at Labour Masquerade Society's grounds at Tema Community 4. With brass band and their beautiful costume, both children and adults sang, danced and marched from Community 4 through to Community 9 as residents stepped out of their homes and shops to catch glimpses. After a short break at Community 9, the Labour Masqueraders returned to Community 8, where other groups had made a stop to prepare towards other events ahead. Labour Masqueraders believe they have a critical role to play in instilling discipline in the youth to keep them away from social vices. Akosua is the Secretary of Labour Masqueraders Society.
So, as I discipline ourselves on the streets, one major thing we've also tried to do is that we've drawn a lot of people from social vices such as pickpocketing, alcoholism, smoking, petty theft, and petty offenses, which generally is against, our laws in Ghana. So we try as much as possible to also do that. Also, let me touch a little bit about education. What we also do is that we are interested in the welfare and the educational needs of our people. So time in, time out, we have designated executives which we've assigned to the young members we have, their homes. So what they do is that time in, time out, they also try to check up on their academics, on how they fare at home.
President of Labour Masqueraders Society, Edward Abekukwafo, says the club will be renovating a basic school at Community 4 as part of their activities.
This year, 14th of February, that's a chocolate day. We embark on a walk in distributing chocolate to the society, the less privileged, and the society at large. And also, we have something we call Labor Day. That's where we select a particular orphanage in Tema to visit and do our donation to them, to them at large. That's what we make basically. We don't only just do kakamotobi or masquerading. We go beyond kakamotobi and masquerading. Okay, so there we have Committee 4, number 2 basic soup down here. We have taken upon ourselves that next year, we wanted to do it this year, but according to the headmistress, the time is too short. So next year, we are going to renovate the place by painting the whole block.
Patron of Labour Masqueraders Society and Protocol Officer at TDC Development Company Limited, Ian Okwe, is happy to be part of the group and what it stands for.
Every year, people are talking about Akosua, but we want people to see that the masquerade in Tema is big and better with Labour Masquerade. You can look at the crowd, and we are not just the normal masquerade. The reason why we are called Labour Masquerade is because there's a lot of professionals who come from diverse backgrounds. And we are in not to ask, but we are in to give out on Christmas Day. So I'm here representing my friends from the professionals, the people from diaspora who have joined us. We promise to be good on the streets. We'll guide all the children, and then we'll come back with a very big fiesta at the end of the day with a carnival.
Meanwhile, member of the club, Susanna Yurinchi, is encouraging parents to allow their wards to be part of the group, which will imbibe in them dedication to serve and patriotism.
Oh, the American said, Obi Anfane Nebambra, a Yenije. Omo Shankwalani, Bibia Kama, Bibia on point, Adriane Insu.
I urge all parents to allow their children to join this group. Here, they will learn to coexist, build their confidence, among other qualities. I want to say a big thank you to all executives of this club, as well as Honorable Ninoy, for the job well done.
And I come and pay for no so. Omo organize this, I call you, I come on my idea pa.
Labour Masquerad Society says some people have the misconception that the art is meant for dropouts and miscreants only. Quan Yankees reports for Joy News.
Still live on JoyNews Today. Let's take a break. When we return, we'll bring you the very latest coming from the world of business.
You're still watching Joy News Today with me, Pius Kojo Baka. Coming up in the world of business, the University of Ghana Business School has donated some food items and toiletries to the Accra Psychiatric Hospital to ease pressure on the facility. The gesture, according to the school, is to help keep the hospital clean and hygienic. Speaking to the coordinator for the Alumni Association of the Business School, Professor Lily Yani, said the school will embark on more social responsibilities. She spoke to Joy Business at the event.
The items, which include surgical gloves, vest, jets, and food among others, are expected to be given to inmates at the facility. Professor Yani said the school believes in the wealth of people and inmates, hence the need for the move.
University of Ghana Business School is the biggest business school in Ghana. We have alumni all over the world, and as part of our impact on society and what the school has done for us, we decided that we will actually heed to the call from the public and from the chief psychiatrist and people working in the psychiatric hospitals in Ghana to at least come and see the vulnerable patients in this hospital, and we are here to donate to them some necessary items that they use every day. So we have some gloves, we have some disinfectant, we have soap, we have you name them, anything that the hospital needs to take good care of the patients in here.
A nurse and a member of the public relations at the hospital, Emmanuel Arthur, thanked the University of Ghana Business School for their kind gesture and asked other institutions to emulate.
It means a lot, and first we will thank UG for bringing this donation. It will go a long way in taking care of the patients. At least it will also let them know that there are people outside there who thinks and take care of their needs. You see, some of these things goes a long way in helping in their recovery, because they know that at the end of the day, there's somebody out there who also thinks about me.
AngloGold Ashanti has implemented robust policies and procedures to prevent harassment and violence at its mine. The zero-tolerance policy against any form of gender-based violence ensures that all employees are aware of their rights and responsibilities. There is more in this report.
According to research, poor socioeconomic circumstances can be a contributing factor in gender-based violence. AngloGold Ashanti is, however, investing into programs to support the empowerment of women and girls. The mine organized a symposium on gender-based violence under the theme "Invest to Prevent Violence Against Women" to encourage women to report any misconduct without fear of being victimized. Mavis Nana Yache is Social Development and Gender Superintendent at AGA.
At AngloGold Ashanti, we recognize the responsibility we hold towards our employees and the communities in which we operate. We firmly believe that violence against women and anyone at all is an issue that demands urgent attention. And we have taken comprehensive measures to ensure the well-being and protection of our workforce. Within Okwasi Mine, we have implemented robust policies and procedures to prevent harassment and violence in the workplace. Our zero tolerance policy against any form of gender-based violence ensures that all employees are aware of their rights and responsibilities and encourages them to report any instances of misconduct through our established confidential reporting mechanism without fear of being victimized.
A divorcee, Prince La Amponsa, recounted the ordeal she went through in her marriage.
2016, and I said, young families and money because our real Mission at a woman. Me pray our retire, but on one more prayer. Any now made an inside the one. It's a made an inside a command or Jane Sam or Jane Sunny every day. Now it's a laughing and I can see a pie.
Anglo-Gold Ashanti said it is committed to combat gender-based violence in 8 mining enclave. Anita Sewa Ajuga reporting.
And that's it for business. Mubarak.
And you're welcome back. You're still watching Joy News. And of course, it's now time for Showbiz. With me, Noella Karen Yali. And at 9 a.m. today, Ghana's Akosua Osei hit the Guinness World Records for longest singing marathon by an individual after singing for 105 hours. Now, Indian singer Sunil Wagner holds the current record, and Akosua Osei intends during 115 hours to set a new Guinness World Record for the longest sing-a-thon after the last record was made in 2012. Now, while her supporters are eager to see her make the new feat, there have also been genuine concerns about being in line with the rules to ensure that Akosua is on the right path and not just on a fruitless venture, as it happened to Dominican singer Carlos Silva. Now, in a heartbreaking turn of events in April 2019, Dominican singer Carlos Silva's ambitious attempt to break the Guinness World Record for the longest singing marathon was thwarted. Now, despite singing for an astonishing 106 consecutive hours, surpassing the previous record, he was still disqualified, for breaching the organization's stringent rules. But we're hoping, fingers crossed, that would not be the case for beloved Akosua Osei. And like I said earlier, she is hoping to achieve 115 hours. So let's, keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully she will get that record broken. Now, let's also take a look at some of the celebrities, musicians, actresses, actors who thronged the Akwaba village at airport to support her. So there you have it. We saw some of the celebrities, or some of the known faces, included singer Safa, Jackie, Abeku Santana, who's an on-air person, and dancer starter Jay. So we're hoping, Aisha, that she's able to break this record.
You should be there, no?
I've been there, actually. I was there when she talked her first 1 hour, so obviously.
Right, all the best to Ifwa. Definitely, our hearts are with you. Good girl. That's how I wrap up the bulletin this afternoon. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjoyonline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories to enjoy the rest of our programs.